For 3 years straight, Samsung has run the exact same playbook for the Ultra. Swap the chip, bump the camera a few megapixels, maybe tweak the titanium frame, print the box. And for 3 years, they got away with it, while brands like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo have been quietly lapping them in hardware, taking massive risks and actually swinging. So what do you do when your safe, predictable formula finally stops working? You throw in the entire playbook in the trash. The Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra leaks just dropped, and I had to read them twice because I genuinely couldn't believe what I was looking at. Samsung isn't just tweaking the formula this time, they are fundamentally tearing down their flagship strategy and starting over. We're talking about a massive design overhaul. We're talking about the biggest camera hardware shakeup since 2023. And most importantly, we're talking about a brand new surprise fourth phone that might actually be the ultra killer everyone has been asking for. If even half of what's leaking is accurate, Samsung has finally woken up. Let us break down everything. First, the surprise fourth phone, the Galaxy S27 Pro. I'm starting here because this is the leak that caught me completely off guard, and I think it might be the most important news in this entire video. Samsung might be adding a fourth phone to the lineup, which is the Galaxy S27 Pro. It is not the Plus, it is not another Ultra. A Pro sitting between the S27 and the Ultra in size, reportedly around 6.47 inches, smaller, more pocketable, the kind of phone you can actually hold comfortably. But here's the part that makes this more interesting. This isn't a watered down version of the Ultra. Leaks suggest that the S27 Pro ships with the exact same M16 OLED panels as the Ultra, with the same anti-reflective coating people went crazy for, the same 200 megapixel main camera and the same 50 megapixel ultra wide, the same Snapdragon chip and a 5000 mAh battery, which in a smaller screen means your screen on time is going to be genuinely ridiculous. The only thing you're giving up is there is no S Pen, which honestly most people gladly trade for a phone that fits in their pockets. And instead of the 5x periscope lens from the Ultra, you get a 3.5x optical telephoto lens. That is it. That is the compromise. If Samsung prices this correctly, this might be the Android phone a lot of people have been waiting years for. Proper uncut flagship specs in a body you can actually use one-handed. I genuinely didn't think Samsung would do this. Now, let's talk about the main phone, because the S27 Ultra is going to be its first proper redesign in years. How many years? I think since the S22 Ultra or even S21 Ultra. The front is familiar, yes. We have a flat display, boxy frame, those slightly rounded corners that see your palms from sharp edges. It is fine. Samsung isn't changing what is working up front. But the back is where it gets interesting. Gone are the floating vertical camera rings we've had for years. Leaks are pointing strongly to a horizontal pill-shaped camera bar running across the top of the phone. New layout, new look, big shift for a lineup that has looked the same since forever. Organimigwo. Now, before iPhone Air fans or even Google Pixel fans come to the comment and start saying, we are copying you, are doing this, relax. Yes, it looks like a Pixel, but let's get the history right. Samsung ran the exact horizontal layout on the Galaxy S10 back in 2019. So technically, they are just going back in their own playbook, just with better cameras, better materials, and a much more reason this time around. And the reason, magnets. Here is what is actually going on under the surface. The current vertical camera layout cut right to the center of the chassis, which is exactly where magnetic charging coils need to live. You can't have both in the same space. By moving the cameras into a horizontal bar at the top, Samsung finally clears the center of the phone for a proper QI2 magnetic charging ring. MagSafe style natively built in, no third-party case required, no adapter or workaround. Man, when I said in one of my shots, I said, I am going to get the S27 Ultra. That's why I won't even think of upgrading to the S26 Ultra anymore. I think I'm not even seeing more reason why I have to just wait till the S27 Ultra is out. We are finally getting, well, I'm not going to call it MagSafe. MagSafe is for iPhone, Pixel Snap is for Pixel. Let me think of what someone will call it. I don't even know. You guys should let me know in the comment section. So this is something that iPhone users have been enjoying for how many years right now? And the Pixel 10 got it. So Samsung, is finally here. Now, this is one of those features that Samsung is kind of catching up. Samsung will always innovate, right? They lead while others copy. But this time around, iPhone led, then Samsung is now 2 steps behind or something like that. But finally, one design has solved two problems. The design they've been copying and pasting for years, and this magnetic charging. This next one is the feature I keep coming back to because if it works the way it is described, this is genuinely a big deal for Android. It is called Polar ID and is Samsung's real proper answer to the Apple's Face ID. Without the ugly notch and without the dynamic island that takes up your screen real estate. Here is how it's going to work. Instead of dot projector shooting infrared points at your face, Polar ID uses polarization imaging technology developed by a company called Meta Lens. To read the unique way light polarizes off the surface geometry of your face. No giant sensor array, no visible hardware eating your display. It fits in a tiny footprint right next to the selfie camera. And guess what? It reportedly cannot be fooled by photos or 3D printed mask. It also works in the dark and it is super fast. Samsung tried biometric face unlock before with the iris scanner. And look, we all remember how that went, right? You had to hold the phone to a precise angle at eye level, pray the lighting was right, and half the time, it didn't just work. It was more of a party trick than a real feature. If Polar ID actually delivers on what is being leaked, this closes the one hardware gap Android has let Apple own for almost a decade. Secure, effortless, full screen face unlock, no compromises. I need this to be real, please, Samsung. Do this. Do this for me. Now, cameras, and this is the part where Samsung does something that sounds like a downgrade on paper, but it's actually the smartest move they've made in the camera department in years. The S27 Ultra is going from 4 cameras to 3. They are dropping the dedicated 3x telephoto lens, and honestly, nobody should be upset about this. The 3x lens was infamous. Tiny sensors, underwhelming output, grain in anything but perfect daylight. The main camera digitally cropping in will constantly beat it. It was taking up physical space inside the phone and contributing almost nothing meaningful to the final images. So Samsung killed it and funneled that space and budget into something actually worth having. The main sensor is getting a massive upgrade, a new 200 megapixel ISOCELL HP6 with LOFIC technology. Without turning this into a lecture class, LOFIC lets the sensor handle extremely bright highlights without blowing them out completely. It dramatically expands dynamic range in a single shot. We've seen what this does on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra and the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. The results are genuinely impressive. Samsung is finally entering that hardware conversation properly. And there's a rumor I genuinely didn't expect. Variable aperture might be coming back. Like the Galaxy S9, mechanical blades that physically open and close, wide aperture in low light, fluorescent sensor reduces noise, natural background blur, narrow aperture in harsh sunlight, crisp, sharp, nothing overexposed, real optical control, not software faking it. The funniest part, the iPhone 18 Pro is rumored to be doing the exact same thing. So after years of going back and forth, copying each other, in 2027, they are both copying Samsung from 2019. iPhone keeps on copying Samsung. But beyond the main camera, right, this sensor handles your 2x and 3x crops natively with zero quality loss. For longer reach, there's a new upgraded 5x periscope lens that replaces the current one, and the next gen 50 megapixel ultra wide rounds it out. Every single lens is an upgrade. This hasn't happened in a while. Let's talk about the thing Samsung fans have been loudest about for years: battery life. Leaked capacity figures are landing somewhere between 5,500 and 6,000 mAh. I'm going to say what we're all thinking. Please, let it be 6,000 mAh, Samsung, please. There are credible rumors that Samsung is finally moving to silicon carbon battery tech, the same high-density cells Chinese brands have been using to fit massive battery into surprisingly thin phones. Samsung has been notoriously cautious about battery innovation ever since the Note 7 situation. And I understand why. You guys understand why, right? But silicon carbon is proven technology at this point. If they're actually going there, this is a significant step. On the chip side, this is the S27 Ultra now, so of course, it is getting a top-tier silicon, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro. Yes, I know, Qualcomm's name is genuinely out of control, but the specs behind that mouthful are anything but average. This could be Qualcomm's first 2nm chipset, and leaks suggest it is the first mobile chip to comfortably clear 5 GHz clock speed. 5 GHz in a phone. Pair that with LPDDR6 RAM, UFS 5.0 storage, and a significantly larger vapor cooling chamber, and you're not carrying a phone anymore. We are carrying a workstation. For the display, a new M16 OLED panel, and that's 8 bits versus 10 bits color banding issue that drove the S26 Ultra owners insane. It is reportedly fixed. Anti-reflective coating is back. Good news all around on the screen front. And yes, Samsung is going to pack more AI features into this phone. That is happening no matter what any of us say about it. The market demands the bullet points, but the hardware underneath all that AI marketing, that is the real story this time. And yes, the S Pen is still there for the Ultra, because I would even love to go for the Ultra with the S Pen. That is if the Maxi is still going to be there. Or I don't know what Samsung was going to call it, right? Truly, the S23 Ultra was the last time a Samsung Ultra release genuinely felt exciting. The kind of phone where everything just clicked. From the hardware to the software to value to feel. After that, 3 years of safe updates, the S27 Ultra is trying to recapture that energy. New design, new camera system, Polar ID, QI2, bigger battery, and a brand new Pro model. If even most of this lands the way the leaks suggest, this is the Ultra Samsung should have been building for a while now. Will the Chinese flagship have moved the goalpost again by the time this launches in early 2027? Probably, they always do, but at least Samsung is finally running towards them. Yes, these are leaks. They are not confirmed. Things can change, but the picture being painted right now looks better than anything we've seen from the lineup in years. I want to know your thought about this in the comment section. Would you love to go for the Ultra, the S27 Pro, or everything? Just let me know in the comment section. And as always, guys, if you're going for any Samsung S27 series, I want you to always stay sharp, stay smart, smart steps.